What's up, guys? It is Friday evening. It's Rick Ginn here with Flip with Rick. And you guys know how we do Fridays. I call it AKA Day for Dad. It's the day after St. Patty's Day. So I hope you guys had a wonderful St. Patty's Day. Didn't party too hard. But we are here today to talk about niche lists. And this is where I can take my 20 years of experience and really, honestly, in like 5-10 minutes, get you such a rocket propelled head start. Remember, we have nothing to sell on this channel. I know it's shocking. It should be refreshing, but the state of wholesaling, everything's for sale. So when everybody else zigs, me and Zach like to zag. And the reason I do it is for legacy. I do fine just flipping properties, and I plan on being in this space for a long time. So why not give it all away for free? So if you're brand new to this channel, my name is Rick Ginn, and I've been doing wholesaling for 20 years in South Florida, and I absolutely love this business. I'm very passionate about it. I enjoy it. I used to train back in the day, 2013, 14, everything changed because a new wave of teachers came in, and I don't agree with it. So I'm not saying it's right for some of you. I just know when things are very short-sighted. So our long-term approach is to teach you a fundamental skill of how to flip properties using wholesaling. And it changed my life forever. I was stuck in a corporate job with 2 young kids and a mortgage and felt like I had nowhere to go. I made the change. It was scary as heck. That's probably why you're watching this video right now. Fast forward to my son when he was 16, 17. I taught him this business because he decided he did not want to be stuck in a dead-end job. Even though he went to college, he's been in the business full-time for 5 years. And honestly, he could probably retire tomorrow. He has enough assets and everything. And we are here just to share our wisdom and knowledge. We're a father-son team, and we really love wholesaling. So it has had a tremendous change on my family, obviously my son, and I'm here today to share it with you. So if you're new to this channel, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and you will continue to actually receive live. That's right, I said live feeds from myself and Zach. So we went on live yesterday, Thursday. We put out a video out every day. And to be honest with you, we have the largest wholesaling group on Facebook. I'm going to show you the link to get to it. You guys want to do it. There's some great goodies over there. Go to Wholesaling Houses for Real. Is the largest wholesaling group that is active, that has real wholesalers in it like myself, Zach, and hopefully you. So go ahead and register there. There's no cost. Guys, we will never ask for a credit card. You will never send me a payment. That's just not how we operate. So I'm here to teach you the fundamentals of wholesaling. I believe you should learn it just like your ABCs, and that's probably why you're watching this today. But before we get started, man, we have got to pick up the energy level. You guys know where I'm going with this. If you're wholesaling and you're not having fun doing it and you're like really boring and you're monotonous, watch this video and wake up.
Get the fuck out of bed, bitch, go. Get up, get the guy, go. Time to wake up, bitch, get up. Get up, get up.
Guys, that's the energy level. So I love wholesaling. I like to have a lot of fun. That's just my personality. And honestly, if you don't love what you do, like stop doing it right away. So probably a lot of you are either just winding up a job or you're finishing it up today. And honestly, I did that for 11 years before I found wholesaling. So at 33, I found wholesaling, and I haven't looked back since then. So you're in the right place, the right time. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about niche list. So I always wondered, is it niche or niche or niche? It's like tomato, and I'm always confused. So if anybody can help me on the pronunciation, if you're an English teacher, please don't attack me on it. I don't know if it's like a different pronunciation in different countries. It's a really cool word because everybody knows exactly what it means. Niche means just basically specialty, a very, very narrow focus. And those who spend the most time in it and get the most results are what we call expert niche lists. So I consider myself a niche expert. I don't know how to pronounce it correctly, but that's what I'm here to teach you. So I want to go through the top 7 I use in my business today. Some of these you're going to say, listen, I never heard of it. And at the end of this, I'm going to give you some extra freebies that I didn't even plan on giving to you, but I'm just going to give it out to you because I don't hold back. So if you guys, as I said, if you're new to the channel, go over to freewholesaling.com. Once again, as I said, it is a 100% free way to learn on wholesaling. Just go to freewholesaling.com and we'll help you out there to get started. So let's jump in the niche list. And I would love some interaction on if you guys are using them and maybe some of your experiences with it. And what we'll do is take about 15 minutes to learn here, and then we're just going to dive in like a Q&A. So I'm going to go through this relatively quickly. Don't worry, it's all recorded. No, this isn't a fast forward. This is how I talk. I'm just a high energy person, and I get excited when I talk about wholesaling. So I'm apologizing, but not apologizing because that's what's put me in front of you. So let's talk about the top 10 niche lists for wholesaling, and I'm going to kind of do them in backwards order. And then I'm going to give you a bonus one at the end. So if you guys stay tuned to the end, you'll be rewarded. So, and if you have any questions relating to wholesaling, the sooner you put them in, gives you a better chance of getting the question answered. I try to roll through it, and we'll go from there. So number 7, arrest list. That's right. I deal with people getting arrested all the time. What do arrested people have in common with wholesalers? They typically own houses. If you're going away for an extended amount of time, it's a challenge owning a home. So this goes without saying. If you got, so I recently had someone got put away for 5 years for, well, I mean, it's got to be, yikes. I didn't put the microphone in right. So he was looking at a 5-year sentence for, I believe it was DUI related. So when he had to make a decision because the only money he had left was in his house and he didn't really have anybody else to take care of it. So we struck a deal. It worked out really well. I will warn you on, so how do I get an arrest list? It's actually really simple. You just search your county site and they publicly have to list all the bookings for each day. So sometimes you can use the court, your county court case files. But you can use the arrest records in your county. I find the sheriff's ones are a little bit more accessible. But remember, every county is a little bit different. Now, a couple things that go with arrest records. Number 1, the biggest problem with arrest records, it's a lot of drama. So yes, a lot of times you have to go down to the jailhouse or the prison and you have to visit and you have to register as a visitor. As I said, let go of your ego. It's no big deal. Remember, we're helping out people regardless of their situation. If you're upset for the crime somebody did, then that's your choice. You don't have to buy the house. I've had some extreme ones. I've had murderers before. Now, I don't pass judgment on people. That's not my job. That's the man upstairs. I just try to see if I can buy their house. And if they're civil to me and I don't have to go through a ton of drama, I'll buy it. Arrest records have a ton of drama. I'm going to warn you now. So you have to be very careful because when you go to a jail cell to visit you, they're okay spending hours wasting your time and you need to figure that stuff out front. So how do I know? I have a lot of times when we deal with arrest, people have been arrested. They'll call you collect. They do it all the time. So just underwear, you get a lot of drama. You'll get a lot of collect calls, but in the end, I promise you it's worth it. If you guys are doing arrest records, jump on it, look on it. It actually works. So all you have to, so I could tell you an entire course on that, but I don't do that here. I'm going to let some other numbskull try to sell you on it. And I promise you, I'm sure it's out there because I saw driving for dollar courses last week. So if you want to do it, pull up your county arrest records. And then number two, just cross-reference it to property in that county. And you should be able to put 2 and 2 together. Look at the offense. If it's a minor offense, I wouldn't waste my time on it. But if it's a major felony, like DUI and drugs, usually be the biggest offender, or sometimes alimony support payments. They actually go to jail for that. So those are my top tips for doing the arrest records. I've always done them. I don't do a ton of them, but I pick up 2 to 3 extra deals a year, and they're highly, highly profitable. A lot like probates when you get them. So the next one, guys, fire damage properties. I know my son talks about this at length. I never touched these until I got my son involved in the business. And it's people like, oh, it's so complicated. It's not complicated. Whenever there's a fire in the county and a fire department has to report to it, an official report has to be filed, and it is on record with the fire department, the police department, and the county. Once you get those records, then you have a lead. It's very expensive to fix up houses that are caught on fire, and they're usually waiting for a lengthy insurance claim. It is primed to get a great deal on it. Yes, you got to figure out what the repairs are on the property and how to get it rectified, but I promise you there are plenty of buyers out there for it. We prove this almost on a weekly basis. Guys, just pull your fire damage list, start with your fire department and work your way backwards to the police department and the county, and I promise you it will give you a load of motivated sellers to work with. So moving on to number 5. Guys, please grab this one with everything you got. Code violations has literally made me millions of dollars. Like, I am not kidding you. It is like a direct arrow pointing at people that need to sell their homes, that have problems. They are usually typically some of the absolute most motivated sellers, and the county gives you a gift by telling you which ones. Now, how do you find it? Once again, this is a county report. What typically happens is a neighbor or somebody or a county employee reports a problem with the house. Maybe they painted the fence purple. Maybe they painted the outdoor all black. Maybe the grass is growing too high. Maybe the house is just abandoned. It looks like crap. They get reported. The county wants to get it fixed up. And if they don't fix it up, they put a lien on the house, and then the lien accrues at like $100 a day. So these become extremely motivated people, because if they don't fix it, they can wind up with huge liens, 10, 20, 30. I've seen them as high as $50,000. So you guys want to pull this list. If you can pull it monthly, do it. These are, if you can connect with these people, they are highly, highly motivated people. I never go a month without working with code violations. And honestly, it's so simple to get. If you're not doing it, please make it a part of it. So the next one, we're moving on to IRS debts and credit card liens. This is relatively easy. The easiest way, if you've never worked these before, let me put this up here, is, let's see here. What I like to do is I like to get them pulled. Where'd I put it? I'm trying to put it up here. Go to listrei.com, and you can pull these lists under the filters. Just put under their liens, and you can look at all the different types of liens. A lien is nothing more than when a third party puts a debt against the house and it has to be repaid. If those loans do not get paid in a timely manner, people can file to do a foreclosure, and that's the advantage of a lien. When the lien gets in arrears and behinds, they file a lien, they record it, and eventually they will foreclose on the house. So IRS and credit cards are an absolutely big one. So number 3, stacked list. So if you guys have never heard of a stacked list, it's exactly what it is. It's when you take multiple lists. You can use listrei.com or zacdata.com, and you pull lists, and you can actually merge them together. And what happens if a seller is on multiple lists? So say they were on say they were on the high equity list, say they were on the lien list, and then say they were on maybe like a absentee owner list or a pre-probate list, that's multiple pain points. And the more pain points there are, the more probability of you getting a deal. So anytime you can list stack, if you had to narrow your data down, if somebody had multiple pain points, think about this. Say they had a foreclosure, say they had a divorce, and say they had some sort of private lien. Odds are that person's probably going to be looking to sell. Now, here's the really cool thing is I'm here to tell you, do not complicate this. There's a ton of services out there that will do list stacking for you. I'm telling you, if you are a new wholesaler and you're just getting started, do this skill yourself in the beginning because these services can get expensive. So let me give you an example. You can go to listrei.com and use the filters, and you can use the 2 or 3 different pain points under filters to put together a stacked list. Let me give you an example. You can do a high equity. You could do properties that are vacant, and you can also find properties that are off market or have a certain lien. They will all, you can filter it in. There's your stacked list, and it's all built in there. If you guys go out and use some of these custom services, which are meant for people that do high marketing budgets, $50K and more, they can cost anywhere from $500 to $2,000 to $3,000 a month. I've used them. The only way you can utilize those is you have to have a ton of data. So listen, if you're just starting out, do not waste your time and money on that services. Use listrei.com, one of the easiest ways to use list stacking. And here's the secret. It doesn't cost you anymore. Remember, the more multiple pain points you have, the higher the probability of getting a deal. So always keep that in mind. So you don't have to pay for this service, guys. I'm telling you, listrei.com has it all built in there for you. Go check it out. The next one, driving for dollars. Honestly, if it wasn't for the other one I'm going to tell you, I would tell you this would be my number one, but I'm not going to let it be my number one because you guys know what I have for number one. Driving for dollars is awesome. There's people that utilize the Flip with Rick channel, everything we do, me and Zach, and their sole point of leads is just driving for dollars. Driving for dollars is just the fastest way to get to point A to point B. Remember, when you pull a list, 5 or 10,000 people, not every one of those are going to be a deal. Only like 1 or 2% will even qualify, and then even less that you'll do a deal with. When you do driving for dollars, say you go out and get 200 addresses or 300 addresses, they're probably all on my 10,000 piece list. You just took a shortcut to get it. And it ain't an easy shortcut. You got to drive around, collect them. You got to skip trace the data, either knock on the doors or call them. Now, you're going after the same people I have the giant list on. I have to do a wide net approach. You're going a lasered focused approach. If I had to get a deal in the next 24 to 36 hours, I would solely use driving for dollars. Here's how driving for dollars works, guys. Do not pay for a driving for dollars course. A 3-year-old could teach you this technique. You ready? You drive around in an area you're familiar with and look for properties that don't fit in, meaning they're run down, the grass is high, the mailbox is knocked over, there's a blue tarp on the roof, the weeds are high, there's a huge stack of mail at the front door. These are the houses you want because it's telling you it's a problem. Get these houses, either knock on the door, skip trace them. Guys, go to work. These are where huge money's made. And those of you that think like, well, Rick, I didn't get to this point to do driving for dollars. Let me forewarn you, I've been doing this 20 years. To this date, in my company, we still do driving for dollars. And guess what? I still do it because I'm constantly looking for deals. I can't get it out of my blood. I drive around neighborhoods. I write down addresses like it's going out of style. So get a notebook, pad, paper, put it in your car. You can take pictures, but a lot of times it doesn't get the street address. Guys, there's so many deals standing in front of you. I promise you, you are missing the boat if you do not utilize driving for dollars. So, and you guys know where I'm going with number one. Actually, before I say number one, let's see who can guess it before I put it up there. My number one niche list. So, what's up, MJ? I'm going to wait, let somebody put it up there. I'm not going to key it. And then Monday. So Corey says, hey, Rick, can I get a rundown on what a probate letter you use in your business sound like? I'm starting a mailing campaign on Monday, and I'll be mailing in the PR. So what's up, Corey? So we just spoke on yesterday. He utilizes the one-on-one with me and Zach. This is really simple. I used to give the letter out for free, and I stopped doing it because everybody started becoming a robots and everybody got the same letters. So, by the way, you know what? Okay. Efron figured out Spaceman. Obviously, Corey figured it out. KK, you guys are smart. I love people who pay attention to me. But back to Corey's question. Let's see here. While I had it up, let me put it up here. If you guys, so you want to create a letter, use white notebook paper, 8.5 by 11. Use a 14 point font, black ink. Use just a regular font. Don't use like handwriting. And just really, you got to do it within 3 paragraphs. Okay. So in the beginning, just kind of introduce yourself. Hey, my name is Corey. I'm looking to buy a house in the neighborhood. Happen to drive by your house at 123 USA Street. Just want to know if you had an interest in selling. I would love to talk to you about it. By the way, I saw the house might be listed in a probate case. If you're interested in learning how to sell this house quickly outside of probate, give me a call. So you have to have a hook in all your letters. Okay. You want to say as little as possible and actually have a fulfilled letter. So it's not going to be a big giant letter. You can make it 16-point font, put your phone number there on there and an email, and just be patient with it. But that little hook I just taught you right there has made me so much money. See, in the beginning, we just said, we want to buy your house in probate. Please call us. We would love to buy your house all cash. We'll make it really painless. I got nothing. The minute I put that hook in there, and by the way, if you call me, I can show you how to cut the red tape out of probate and sell the property quickly. Give me a call. I can share the details with you. And our callback rate went up almost 20%. So Corey, just use the elements of that. You're a really smart guy. And then you will find, based on the feedback of your letters, of your leads, and you can keep tweaking the letter. That's terrible on it. So, okay. So guys, on the last one, as you know it, past driving for dollars, probates. I'm not even going to go over the details with you. If you don't do probates, you are missing the boat in wholesaling. They are the most profitable, the easiest deals to assign, and they have the most need. There's usually a death in the family. A probate is just the legal process of having a judge give the authority to sell assets from the deceased. Remember, dead people can't sign deeds. They can't sign over titles, and they can't sign over bank accounts. It takes a court order, and that's where we come in to help out with it. So, guys, give me some likes, give me some loves, and I am actually going to throw in one more list. But before we get into it, remember, our whole goal is to teach you the fundamentals of wholesaling to get you to your first $100,000, which hundreds of you, thousands of you have already done. And why I want you to understand this is, do you know what the average median family income is in the United States? If you do, go ahead and comment it. I got the numbers. I'm talking for 2021, which they've actually gone up. So there's the average individual income, and then there's the median income. So that would be a husband and wife combined, and then the average single person. And I'll share those numbers with you. So just to give you guys an idea, to get you to that $100,000 level, do you know what percent of income earners that puts you in the United States? I know I got a lot of questions here, but it's important you understand this. So average median income, I'm seeing people writing down here. I was kind of surprised to learn some of these numbers. So Sandra says 45. Let me take this off here. Okay. She says 45. And then I see Woo Dogs puts 110. So the average individual income is $51,000 for 2021, and the average combined income is $80,000 for a family for 2021. So And depending on what site you pull it off of, like whatever, I'm not going to get it exact. So if you earn 100,000, do you understand what percentage that puts you in the United States? And remember, I'm just teaching you one fundamental aspects of real estate investing, which is wholesaling. Okay. If you earn 100 grand just learning off me and Zach's free information, that puts you in the top 12 to 15% of the United States. One skill set. And I promise you, once you master wholesaling, your skill sets will go through the roof because I'm going to open up doors that you could never thought could be open for you. So just by watching this channel and learning how to do wholesaling, I can put you in the top 15% of earners in the United States. And listen, you are barely scraping the iceberg. This gets better, okay? So to get in the top 10%, you only have to earn 173,000, which you can easily do in year 1 or year 2 in wholesaling. So I can get you from 15% to 10%. So that means you're better off than 9 out of 10 people you will ever meet financially. Okay. And then after that, to get in the top 5%, it's only 342,000. Hey, you're a year or 2 away from that. Guys, that's honestly, it's pretty easy. It's not hard at all. And then the final, you ready for this? The top 1% of the United States earner, the only number you have to fit in this is $820,000. Okay. Guys, I don't even think I'm special. And I'm already at the elite top number. Okay. Why I'm trying to tell you this is I would have never got there without wholesaling. If I did not take the leap of faith and do it, it wouldn't have changed my life. I would have sat there and probably earned 90 to 120K for the rest of my life. And if you guys know what I'm talking about, like, give me a thumbs up, give me a like. I hated every minute of sitting at my cubicle. So I worked for Enterprise Rent-A-Car for a long time. I climbed the corporate and I just hated it. All my bosses got fired. I just didn't like what I do. I liked where I lived, and that was about it. So I went from being at mediocre average to the top percent in less than 6 months with wholesaling. Now, I can't guarantee you're going to do that, but I tell you this, if you'll take a leap of faith and you really want to learn wholesaling, you're in the right place. Go to freewholesaling.com. We'll teach you exactly what to do step by step. And guys, if I can teach a 17-year-old how to do this business and in 90 days make 100,000, there is no reason you guys can't do it. I'm telling you, there's this myth that who's ever the smartest person in the United States or in the world makes the most money. And I'm here to tell you, being smart doesn't make you a ton of money. It's actually counterintuitive. So have you ever met someone's like, they're not very sharp, but they make a ton of money? Well, which would you rather be, super smart and broke, or like just average street smarts and financially through the roof? And I'm here to tell you, stacking up your SAT scores, your ACT scores, your GPA, and what college you went to will get you nowhere in life. I'm sorry. But if you like that, then do that. This channel's not for you. Just get off right now. I'm telling you. So I love this business. Just getting you to the 100K will get you in the top 15% of the United States today. And then honestly, to get the top 10%, you only got to go to 173. Guys, I'm telling you, in a year, you can easily get in the top 10% just by doing wholesaling. So I want you to please listen to my message. Stop depending on the United States government. Stop depending on these colleges. Stop depending on your parents to get you financially successful. I love my parents to death, but I did not learn my financial literacy from them. So honestly, it put me in the hole in the beginning. So that's my rant and rave. I love this business. Being a wholesaler is a really wild ride. And if you can learn to lose your ego and do this business and have fun with yourself and stop taking yourself so seriously, you'll do amazing things. But I just thought the income thing was actually really, really amazing. So let's jump into Q&As. We're going to dive right into it. Let me jump back up because we got a lot of questions. So I'm wide open to any questions, especially if you have anything on niche lists. I helped Corey out with the probate letter. You're welcome, Corey, anytime. I appreciate it. Thank you. What's up, Jose? So guys, let's jump into it. So Efron says, hey, Rick, if the seller backs out, do I still have to pay the the title company? So Efron, like, this is a big sticking point on me. Has sellers ever backed out from me? Absolutely. Guys, you got to understand, I've done thousands and thousands and thousands. I've written tens of thousands of contract. Just because you get a contract doesn't mean they get to the closing table. So Efron, if you're having more than one person pulling out to you, you got to look at your process, because people only pull out because they didn't get the right questions answered, they're uncomfortable with you, or they think there's something better waiting in the wings. And most of that can be prevented with the upfront conversation. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go to freewholesaling.com. I teach you how to do the whole thing, like right in there. So the upfront conversation basically says, I'm going to put this up here. It basically says, at the end of this conversation, you have a decision to make. You either love working with me, or I don't like you and I never want to work with you again. Either way, I need to make a decision. So you have to reemphasize that that day after you sign the title company, after you sign the contract, make sure your title company reaches out, gets their contact information, and lets them know you have a legitimate deal. Now, people are going to back out. Do you have to pay for a title? Most title companies would not hold you accountable for it. But if you do it on a frequent basis, they'll probably stop doing business with you. So technically, the title company probably doesn't charge you. The reality, it costs them maybe $25, $50 to pull the title. If you do enough business with it, they can absorb it. If you've had 4 or 5 people pull out, then it would probably be difficult for them. So, and remember, the only way someone can pull out of a contract is you both have to mutually consent to sign off on it. So you need to talk to that seller and see what the issue is. If they need to stay in the house because they can't afford another one, then I probably let them move on with me. But I will never let another seller buy the property because they offered them more money. That's why we do agreements, so we don't have to have that argument. So find out what the root of that problem is, but no, you shouldn't be charged for that. So Gala says your buyer should pay for closing costs. That's not a call. Okay, I see it. Yes. Okay. Okay, what's up, Ben? Ben says, I'm a very terrible cold caller. So listen, at least Ben's admitting it. By the way, nobody starts out as a good cold caller. I've never seen somebody with a built-in trait to be like a bad to the bone cold caller. So stop trying to set yourself up to a level, because I'm probably just as bad, if not worse, than you on it. Says, I have tried, believe me. Would you say starting with cold calling is a good idea? So Ben, here's how I tell everybody. You guys have to pick your marketing medium that resonates with you. If you hate cold calling people, like in your gut hate, I hate it. Like I would never cold call. I didn't cold call for the first 10 years of my business. You know why? Because I hate it. So if you constantly have to do something you hate, you're going to find the fastest way to get out of it. Like using words, I've tried, believe me. So Ben, cold calling is not for you. Look at SMS, look at direct mail, go to mailingmastery.com. RVM, if it's legal in your state. You could do reverse driving for dollars. You can do driving for dollars. There's so many ways to do this business. You are not stuck with one way. So I get it. Cold calling's not for you. Move on. Guess what? That was my same story. But I found my son who loved cold calling and probably made up to 1 million cold calls by the time before he started teaching anybody. So I want you to understand, just because you don't like it, it doesn't mean you can't find somebody you can work with on it. So no big deal. Glockster, what's up? I have a deal. She wants me to send me my bid offer to a P.O. box. Should I offer her the most so that I can get the deal, then renegotiate once I see the property? No. And so this is the advice that's being taught in the wholesaling world. And I'm here to tell you, there's a reason this is done. So listen, regardless if you pay someone or get it for free, I'm going to give you the truth. So I have nothing to sell you here. So I'm just here to be brutally honest with you. If I was selling you something, so say you registered for a $7,000 course with me, what I want you to do is write contracts and try to make you feel good about it. Okay. The problem with that, it only makes you feel good temporarily because eventually you have to renegotiate it. And most people get really upset when you lie to them and you renegotiate it too. The only time we renegotiate is when we made a mistake and we missed something. Okay. Renegotiating it, or as other people call it, the haircut, is it comes down to an ethics and an integrity issue. Would you do that to your own mother? No. So why are you going to do that to a seller? So here's what you need to do. I tell every seller, Mr. Seller, I want to buy your house. I'll tell you this. I'm probably not going to be the highest offer, but I'll be your best offer, meaning I will get it done and I'll do exactly as I say. Okay. So if you go in and say they want 150,000 and you know you can't pay more than like 135, 140, and you go, well, I'll get 150 because I know I'll take it and I'll backdoor them. You just lied and cheated your way into that deal. And that's the problem with this business. So find a tactful way to let them know, I'm going to write you a fair offer. We'll stick to that number and I'll get you to the promised line with them. And honestly, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. It's okay. I don't want to be the highest bidder for a property. The highest bidder for a property is typically the loser, in my opinion, especially in wholesaling. We're not bidding on high-end luxury apartments here, guys. So you can do whatever approach you want, but I'm telling you, that's the God honest the truth. If I was selling you a course, I'd tell you to like write a contract, get it under contract, and then I'd tell you paid too much. You can just renegotiate it. But honestly, that's the sucky way to do this business. It is wrong, and it will burn you out, and it'll stress you out. It's going to give you gray hair. You see these gray hairs? They're from kids. They're not from writing bad contracts. If I wrote bad contracts, I'd have no hair left. So heed the warning. So Dwayne's asking about the ROS postcard. So I created a postcard called Rapid Offer System. I use it in my business. I use it a lot, guys. Extremely successful. I have a company that produces it. They do everything. I don't own it. I just gave them the idea and they do the printing for me. So we share it to you at freewholesaling.com. You can check it out. It's a really unique service. The reason it says call us, because the root of all direct mail is inbound calls. So I'm giving you a directive to call me. Call us. If I just leave a phone number, a lot of people don't understand what that means. Is that a voicemail? The implication is call us, we'll talk to you, and we'll go from there. So the sport of wholesaling requires you to talk to sellers. There's no way around it. I know some of you think you could do everything via text, but remember, the goal of SMS text is to convert them to the phone. So if somebody calls me on an ROS offer and they call, what am I doing when they call me, Dwayne? Anybody know? Real simple. I'm going to connect with them. I'm going to build rapport and I'm going to qualify them. Okay. Believe it or not, a lot of people call us and they're just tire kickers, and I'm okay with it. We just get through the numbers. So it's a unique system where we come up with an offer that's built into the marketing piece. So I used to send everybody an offer after I did the initial marketing. And I said, why don't we just do it all in one shot? So I found a company that would do the whole thing for me. They're absolutely amazing over at Open Letter Marketing. If you don't use them, take a look at it. They do all my business and I recommend them to everybody. I don't own the company. We just come up with really good ideas, and they are real estate investors themselves. So it's a huge win-win. So awesome. Okay. So here's a go on. I got one. Since we aren't realtors and we're technically just an everyday Joe, what are some things that we can't say, like legally speaking, so I don't get in trouble? Honestly, you're not forbidden against anything except you have to operate within the boundaries of the law. So what you can't do is make wild claims. You can't guarantee somebody anything. But But honestly, a lot of what we do is common sense. So just tell the truth. It's like, honestly, like, just don't use foul language. Be a gentleman, be a lady, and respect people. But I know you guys do that anyway. So um, there's a good question. Taylor says, "Hey Rick, what is the lowest market value of a house that you would consider wholesaling?" Thanks. Um, I've done them as low as like $1,500. I'm embarrassed to say that, but it's actually the truth. Um, the problem is houses under like $20,000. Sometimes it's hard to get your margins on them, and usually there's a lot of drama. So here's the secret in wholesaling, actually in real estate investing. Okay, remember, wholesaling is just the fundamentals of getting started in real estate investing. Is the deal that you make $1,000, the deal that you make 10,000, and the deal you make 100,000, and the deal you'll actually eventually make $1 million on, they're the same amount of effort. I have 20 years experience this. I'm here to tell you, the $1,000 one stresses me out more than $1 million ones because they're constantly all over me and my staff. So I like to stay away from like hood-ridden areas because they're really challenging. So, but honestly, I have no limit on it. Like, if you can make money with it, why not? Like, why am I going to limit anybody? So, what's up, Brandon? How you doing? I appreciate it. Yeah, MJ, I don't cold call. I hate it. I mean, I'd rather take a dull spoon and bash it against my head. Now, I don't like it, but I love it for the business. It's just not part of my I don't like doing it. I could talk to you guys all day long. I just, you know, getting people reject you. And I have no problem with the rejection, but I just hate the phones. Like, it's just, I'm not a phone guy. I'm not someone who's going to talk to somebody on the phone 2 hours. You want to meet me in person, or we can do something online, but the phone thing, I just get bored with it. So, especially with strangers. Okay, Moises. So he says, so when the seller tells you about another buyer and wants to get out of the contract, what do you do there? I just remind them they've entered into a legal agreement, and the point of a legal agreement is to keep both parties on track. Okay. And the problem is, if you don't release them out of your contract that you've both mutually signed, it's a legal contract. If they sign another contract, they are now committing fraud. And if they go in front of the judge and that's true, they are going to be penalized, not you. Okay. The judge is just going to look at the order and whoever put the contract first is going to get the preference. So if a homeowner puts you under contract and then takes your contract out and shops it, it's fraud. It's flat out fraud, and I never accept that. And if that's what's happening to you, I would consult a lawyer, and they'll show you the steps you can do to protect yourself. Now, that being said, you got to make sure you've got a deposit with an escrow letter. You have a legitimate contract, and you've already pulled title, and you're working with a title company. If you have all that, but I always try to work it out with the sellers, guys. Remember, when you get it under contract, it doesn't guarantee they show up to the closing table. So it's your job to babysit them all the way till the end. Some people need a daily phone call, if not multiple phone calls, and some people you only got to call once. You have to be the decider on how often you have to stay in contact with your sellers. This is why you guys want to use a database. Some people are a constant management piece. Other people don't need as much management. It's up to your team, most likely you, to figure out how often you got to talk to them. 9 times out of 10, Moises, when you get in this situation, it means you stopped communicating with your seller and they went behind your back. Although it's completely wrong, they do it all the time. And you have to remind them, we have a legal binding contract. Hey, we've pulled the title. Everything's in motion. Is there anything I can answer for you? And the sooner you do that in the beginning, the more likely are they're going to stay calm and stay in their lane. If they don't hear from you and you make them uncomfortable, they will go out and seek other buyers. And a lot of them just think your contract expires. You have to remind them it doesn't go away. So if you wrote the contract first, you're legit. They're telling you they've entered another agreement with that buyer. I would try to talk them off the ledge, get them over to the title company, and let them know what the consequences are for. Worst case scenario, try to contact that other seller and let him know he's in a conflict of interest. And if he moves forward, you're going to announce him or her in the lawsuit as well too. So I've won multiple lawsuits with this. I know exactly how the law reads. If the homeowner is knowingly entering into two contracts, they are going to be held liable. Okay. So unless you trick them or something like that. So Moises, always try to work with the seller. It's not fair if somebody offers 10 grand more after you write a contract. The only reason they offer you 10 grand more is because you wrote the contract. So you shouldn't be penalized for taking action for it. So just try to work with them, and hopefully you can work that out. Guy says, what's the drawback of a virtual title company? It's the virtual part. They don't know you and they've never met you in person. So you lose some of that rapport factor and you lose some of that trust. That would be the biggest issue. Contract season worldwide. I love you guys' names. So my problem is setting the expectations for the seller. So I do it in the first call. If they say they are interested or do not, on the second call, what should include in these expectations? So the basic thing is you just have to qualify them. So go to freewholesaling.com. We teach the whole thing just for time's sake. There's 4 qualifying questions. I'm not even going to share them with you because you guys already know what they are. Those 4 qualifying questions should tell you all you need to know if you're going to move forward with it or not. Okay. And every time you talk to them, you have to constantly remind them, like, you're there for a purpose. You're there to, like, so when I meet with someone, I want to know exactly who I'm meeting with. I set up how long we're going to meet for, and I let them know what we're going to go over. And then I set up the expectations up front. At the end of our conversation, Mr. Seller, you're going to have a decision to make. And either you love working with me, or maybe I'm just not the right fit for you and you don't want to work with me more. Either way, if we can commit to making a decision of yes or no, do you agree with that moving forward? They always say yes. And then when they go back, oh, I got to think about it, I got to do this. This is when you bring back that expectation call. Now, I'm not as hard on the phone up front, but if I go through my qualifying questions, you're getting close to where you need to get. And then when you meet them in person, the idea is to get down the business and get it done, or if you can take it down over the phone. So, there's no, I mean, Gloria, you can filter those out, but I just go after all of them. So you can research through your state's database to see who's the point of contact for that LLC if you want to, you decide to choose those. So Ben, we're talking about the cold calling. Do you think VAs are good? No, because if you don't like cold calling, you don't understand it, you're not going to be able to manage someone that does it. So I'm here to tell you, if I told you how many VAs I've hired to do cold calling, you literally wouldn't believe me. It's such an appalling number. It's literally hundreds. You guys hear me? I've hired hundreds of VAs. Very, very, very few of them ever work out. And here's the God's honest reason why they don't work out. You ready? Because we suck at training them. Okay. That's just the truth. So Ben, if you don't understand cold calling, you can't get it to work. So that means you have to give a standard operating procedure, an SOP, to a virtual assistant to do cold calling for you. Well, how many phone calls are they going to make? How many contacts should they have? How many leads should you be getting? You have no idea what these numbers. So how are you going to manage them? I'm just being brutally honest with you. I've been through hundreds of them. They're painful. I've got it down to 3 right now, guys. And it took me 3 years to get to that journey. That's how difficult. And by the way, VAs will tell you whatever you want to hear when you hire them up front. They're on the other side of the world. They have nothing to lose having you hiring them. So you have no idea how many clients they have, if they're actually working on your deals. So my concern has been is if you don't understand it, how are you going to hire someone to do it? And that's the challenge. So if you had a partner or someone that was like really good at that, and then you shared in a percentage on it, that would be like a better way to do it. But if you can't do it and you don't like it, I promise you, managing a cold calling person and then following up KPIs would probably be even worse. Ask me how I know. So Glock says, how do you go about a seller wanting to use their own attorney? Now, I never deny anyone from using their own attorney because you look like an idiot doing it. So understanding some people want to review everything through an attorney. And by you saying, no, you can't use your attorney, it's just going to kill your deal. So let them know you're welcome to review it with an attorney, but it isn't a cash offer. And if you're paying a closing cost, I don't really know what the risks are. Now, I will tell you this, every attorney will find some way to find a problem with your contract. They're typically going to go after your deposit. And if it's a very short contract, they're going to say it's not legit. So if I know an attorney is going to be involved, I'm probably going to use like a long form contract, like the one my state provides me that's created by the Board of Realtors and the whatever, the bar for the attorneys in your state. Because attorneys look at it, and if it looks normal and it feels normal, they'll typically have a couple small comments to put on there. If it's a really small contract with $100 deposit, they'll just tell you, don't work with this investor. They're small time. So, guys, do not deny people the right to review it with an attorney because it's their legal right to do it. So you denying it makes you really just look bad. So, and 9 times out of 10, you get kicked to the curb. Efron says, hey, Rick, do you disclose your wholesaling to real estate agents? That just depends on what side you're on it. I don't buy anything off the MLS, so there's never a disclosure issue. Unless the market's really soft. The last time I did that was 2010 and 11. In today's age, I would never buy anything off the MLS because it's all overpriced. So the agents I'm selling properties to, I 100% disclose I'm wholesaling. Like, it's not even a question. I have to train them how to do the assignment. And I had a realtor today, one of the biggest realtors in all of Florida. And I've probably done, I don't know, 20 or 30 deals. They represent a lot of cash buyers. And we still have to do the entire assignment contract. Number one, they don't understand it. And number two, all they care about is how they get paid their commissions. That's all they care about, guys. Like, I'm not being rude about it, but they will never take 10 minutes to learn the assignment agreement because I've tried over and over. I've tried with my title company. I've tried it with my transaction coordinator. We have to do it for them every time. They don't understand it. They're like, okay, I'm getting $5,000 and this day is closing. Where do I send my deposit? Where do I sign? And they don't even understand the assignment agreement. And it's not my job to explain it to them. So, okay. Awesome. I appreciate it. So Dwayne, it says call us instead of an offer price. The reason for that is when you do a large list, not all data is perfect. Sometimes so the company that creates the postcard for us, I don't get into the details of this because I don't understand, but they use an algorithm. So it uses tools and bounces off different sites to figure out what the average sales price per square foot in the area. And then it does a multiplier. Sometimes they're missing the square footage. Sometimes they're missing comps. And so about 1 to 2% of them won't have a price on it. So it'll just say, call us. If it didn't say call us on it, it would just have a big blank screen. And it is what it is. No data is perfect. Just like when you skip trace, you're going to have some of them blank. The same thing happens with the ROS postcards. So we came up with a solution. I rather say call us than have it completely blank. So that's why it's there. Hopefully that helps you out. That makes sense. What's up, Winston? Says he got another closing Friday. Only 4K, but better than nothing. So Winston, I want you to understand, my goal is to get you to the 100K, and then that's enough to get you off to the rocket ship to get you easily in the top 10% of the United States income. Okay. I strongly feel everybody that's watching this live right here, right now, you can easily crack the top 10%. You are better than 9 out of the 10 people you associate with. And I'm talking just financially, but people who say money doesn't like buy you happiness, I'm here to argue with you. Like, I'm just telling you, money gives you options in life and allows you to buy back your time to do things. Now, money doesn't define a person. It just accentuates a person. So if you're a good person, then you do good things with it. You help people out. You give money out. You help out friends and family. You do what you got to do. If you're a bad person, you get money. You just you're going to go out and buy stuff that makes you feel good, stuff like that. But honestly, you're employing people in your local market. So I think it's all good. But that 4K will go towards your $100,000 total, and just keep fighting to get there. I have found that once wholesalers crack 100,000, they easily double the income within less than 6 months after that. So by getting you to the 100K, that puts you in the top 15%. Once you get to the 50%, we only got to add another 73,000 and you're in the top 10%. That's it, guys. All from watching a channel, learning wholesaling absolutely for free. Get you in the top 10%. Show me anybody else in wholesaling that can do that on the internet today for free. You're not going to show me it because they don't exist. I know that for a fact. Everybody's using the same old coaching model from 20 years ago. It doesn't work anymore. Like, you can't keep teaching the same techniques over and over and calling them secrets. So Zachary kind of confirms what I said either about like the drama on like the lower end deals. So Zachary's done 5 deals, all under 5K, and just a ton of work. And he's confirming how much drama it is. So the idea is now we got to get Zachary. We just got to put another 0 behind that and get you to 50K deals. It will change your life. So let's see what this says. So NATO says, do you ever send postcards or letters with you? So let me do this for you. If you're new to this, without me going in over long training here, go to mailingmastery.com and I'll show you every trick I have in the book when it comes to the mailings. It's too long for me to teach you in this, but I promise you, go to Mailing Mastery and it'll help you all with that. Okay, let's see. I skipped Floyd. Thank you very much. How do I reach out to you? So you guys work with each other's in the chat here. Oh, let me give you my bonus niche list. Okay, you ready for this? I've already talked about it early. Zach let the cat out of the bag. Guys, garage sales. So I've been doing garage sales since 2006. I actually created a course for it. I've got it like sleeping on the shelf. I might have to reintroduce through it and put it in freewholesaling.com. You guys know I'm not going to sell it. So really simple. Get a directory of garage sales in your area. Facebook. You can use your county websites, Craigslist. Compile all the garage sale list. And from there, try to find the ones that are absentee owners. Here's the key, guys. When tenants move out quickly, they're the ones posting the garage sale, not the owner. The owner doesn't even know what's going on. So when you reach out to these owners, cold calling is the best. If not, you can send them a letter and just say, listen, I saw you're having a garage sale. Would you be interested in selling the property? 9 times out of 10, when they call me or I call them, they're like, I'm not doing a garage sale. I don't know what you're talking about. They don't even know their tenants are doing a move out. They're doing what we call the midnight move out, and they're just trying to liquidate everything. And that's when all the crap gets kicked to the corner of the curb. The house looks its worst. It's the best time to get a deal. Guys, garage sale lists filtered down to the property owners that are absentee owners. Cold call them and mail them. And when they call, they're going to act surprised, and you're going to tell them, no, I drove by. I saw a bunch of people at the house. Is this something you're interested in selling? And they're going to ask you a bunch of questions. That's your chance to build rapport. And that is an incredible niche list. And it works really, really well. So thank you, Taylor. Thank you, Michael. He says, thanks for $1 million for all this free contact. I will be closing my first deal this week, coming finally for 15K. And Michael did it all just by watching me and Zach on here, teaching you the business. Guys, we got 25 years experience. I love this business. There's never any secrets in it. Like, if anyone tells you a secret or you got to do it my way because it's the only way that works, ask them how long that person you're talking to has been doing real estate or whoever their boss is. And if they don't tell you at least 20 years, run. Because guess what? Every year they're going to tell you there's another little change, and you're constantly going to have to pay them to get it. So it drives me nuts. So hey, Corey's right there. If they don't meet the 4 pillars, don't try to make a deal happen. It ain't going to work. So let's see here. Oh my God, you guys are just talking amongst yourselves here. So Floyd's right here. It's difficult. Yeah. So we're talking about cold calling. You have to track the KPIs, listen to the voicemails. They just want to make money in scripts. It's a lot to go with just doing one VA. I'm just telling you guys, hiring VAs, everyone thinks it's so simple. And I'm here to tell you it's complicated. I'm just being honest with you. Like, that is how it works. So, hey, listen, if you don't like cold calling, it's not your niche, go find something else that works for you. Maybe it's direct mail. Maybe it's SMS. Maybe it's just driving for dollars. You know, we've got to do it, guys. So thanks, Efron. I appreciate it. Check this out. Cameron says he just got started wholesaling this week. That's awesome. So they're not waiting to read all the content to figure out how to do this. You got time to do it. They got 3 extremely hot leads. If I can close them, I'll make $65K with buyers already in place. All credit to you guys. Guys, I'm here to tell you, wholesaling, it will literally change your life. I'm not here to make you do it, but if you're truly committed to it and you want to make it happen, Flip with Rick, this channel right here, Wholesaling Houses for Real on Facebook. You have all the tools you need. Anybody who says, no, you can't make it and work with these guys, ask them how much experience they have and see if they can put 25 years together. And if they can't, move on. I'm not going anywhere, guys. You know my son, he's 22. He's not going anywhere. We are here with you for the journey. All I want you to do is share, like, and comment on our stuff so we can share it with the world to let them know they have options other than paying these crazy prices to get wholesaling information that people are labeling as secrets or I have a special way. Guys, I've been doing this over 20 years. I'm here to tell you, they're all lying to you. Okay. Why am I the only guy out here doing it for free? Why do you think that is? Either I'm absolutely crazy, which is probably part of it, or number 2, I know where I'm going. I see the clear vision. It took me 20 years to figure this out. I understand it. And if you come along with me for the ride, not only will you exceed the $100,000, you'll see me and Zach's vision, and I promise you, you will be rewarded. Guys, get the information out there. Flip with Rick, Zach and Rick, father and son team. We just want to create a legacy and help as many of you as possible. The more people that are successful on this channel just helps my cause. So guys, I hope you enjoy the content. Keep coming back. We release videos every day. Me and Zach are on here live together every Thursday. He's here on Wednesday and Tuesday, and I'm here on Friday. If you like this information, subscribe, comment, and guys, share this video. I wish you guys the absolute best Friday, and I'll see you in the next video. I appreciate it, guys.